Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Eden Zero, Chapter 81. So, I think, I think it's fair to say at this point, but with this chapter and Homura being dragged into the wind dimension, Sylph's wind, Sylph's wind basically, is kind of broken. Like it's really like the fact that she can't be defeated by I guess you call conventional means. Yeah, it kind of puts her a little bit in the broken category. It's yeah, it's really kind of it's really kind of just not fucking fair. I'm just gonna say it. However, I also believe that self trapping. I also believe that trapping her, that basically self trapping Homura in the wind dimension is the one mistake. Well, that from she's made that's going to allow Homura to win, because one thing that's been, like I said, one thing that's been made obvious is that engaging in direct combat with Sylph is pretty much pointless. But with this, not only, but this whole thing with her and the medicine being trapped in the wind dimension or whatnot, it not only sets up the possibility of kind of exploring more of how Sylph's powers work, but also tells us that there is going to be a way to defeat her indirectly by turning her own power against her in some way. And Homer right now is not only in the best position to do that, but considering her power, there are many way considering her power and that was gifted to her by Valkyrie. I'd say there are many ways that Homura can definitely use this situation to her advantage. Like there's I think just with the fact that she's got that she can manifest entire arsenals of weapons. I think she can probably pull something off here, and she can use that arsenal in order to break free. Honestly, it's just a matter of how that's gonna work. Which I think if we're operating by simplistic logic, I think I got an idea how this is gonna work, but we'll just have to wait and see. Like I think I think it'll be a situation where she ends up kind of going with the wind, so to speak, and just and finding the flow of the wind almost kind of thing. That's my guess on it. Um, Now let's talk about Sabir's death in this chapter, and I put quotes and I put air quotes over it because it's with Sabir with what happened with Sabir in this chapter. It's one of those things where the whole thing with one of those things where after the whole thing with Valkyrie, I don't necessarily doubt anymore that Mushroom would go through with something like that. But at the same time, I also still kind of operate on the logic on the anime logic of death in the sense where I need to see a body. Otherwise, there is just as much of an equal chance he's alive as him being dead. And so it's not necessarily that I doubt that I doubt he's dead or not. It's just I need to see a body in order to know for sure he's actually dead, which which supposedly he was which supposedly there was gunfire, so he might be dead. But at the same time, I think there with the fact that Weiss is there, there's also just as much of a chance that Weiss pretty much fought against the poison, might have fought against the poison in some way. But yeah, I don't fight against the poison in order to protect Sabir. But I don't know. It's yeah, I just need to see a body. Let's put it that way. Um, one thing, one thing I do oddly have to give credit to though is that we definitely get a bit of characterization of Fee in the sense where, as bloodthirsty as his character is, he does have a sense of honor in the sense where he told Sabir outright he's basically only there to kill Sabir. He's not there to kill Weiss. So in that sense, you can see he kind of operates a little like Jin does in the sense where he does basically still end up following orders like the where he does still follow the orders he's given even if he does have he still follows the orders he's given and doesn't stray from them mostly probably. I think I think the only I think for him it's just the thing where if there's innocent bystanders to get in the way, who cares? It was an accident. To him, it's an accident. I think it's one of those things. Um, on top of which, we also get some more development for Sabir by him like immediately stepping in front of Weiss once again, showing how much he actually cares for him compared to the perception we were shown early on. Like there's been a lot. Like I feel that the one thing we're going to be able to take away from this arc more than anything is that there's definitely been a lot of been a lot of like development for like there's been a lot of development for pretty much for a side character like Sabir who we didn't think of, and we definitely just get a little bit more of basically who he is as a character. Maybe not like it's again it's the whole thing of he's obviously a different Sabir, but there's still like this you can't help but feel that maybe this is something of what the original Sabir might have still felt of, I think. And yeah, let's talk about the big thing of this chapter, which is that Drakken Joe pretty much steps in and interrupts the fight between Jin and Shiki before essentially powering up his ether gear to his overdrive state. And the thing with this new development for me is that this fight needs to be two or three chapters not including any extra moments that'll more than likely be sprinkled throughout other chapters where this fight is in the focus. Like no, in terms of like any chapters we get where this fight is strictly is the strict focus. I need this fight to last at least 2 chapters minimum or 3 chapters maximum. Hell, I'll even go maybe 4 chapters because and the reason why I say this is because obviously because of the fact that Drakken Joe now has an overdrive. He needs to be, with the fact that he has an overdrive power, he needs to be taken like seriously, which obviously he has already, but it's mostly been through his influence we've seen through others. But in terms of Drakken Joe himself, yeah, this chapter, like the fight itself, it needs to last at least 2 or 4 chapters long at most, I'd say. Otherwise if he's defeated in like one or 2 if it just takes 1 chapter to defeat him, even with those other chapters that have like that fight sprinkled throughout, it's just not gonna work. And to be fair though, I'm not fully convinced this fight is even going to end with a victory on either side, because right now this fight in itself, it feels more like feels more like a conflict that Mashima set up in order for Shiki to be in order for Shiki to like fully awaken his overdrive power, which at this point I think we can all naturally say is the power that he had that was awakened when he was fighting Kurenai. And going back to the previous point, however, about like this chapter needing to be at least 2 to 4 chapters long. One way if it's less than that, if it's less than 2 to 4 chapters long, one way I'd be willing to kind of compromise if it's less than 2 to 4 chapters is if we see Jin fighting along Shiki, which I think is going to be the more likely is going to be like a little bit more of the more likely scenario at this point. But we'll just have I think but that's the one way I'm willing to compromise on this. But yeah, other than that, like I need this chapter to be at least more than 1 chapter. Let's put it that way. But yeah, guys. Oh, and throughout this chapter, we can kind of and the other thing is that even though we don't know what exactly the details of Drakken Joe's plan are, we still see it coming together a little bit just from the fact that he apparently needs Shiki alive, which to me also says that Shiki is like some kind of important key or something, or he's definitely whatever, like it says that whatever Drakken Joe's plans are, it's definitely clear that Shiki and Rebecca are like at the center of this plan. Like I think we need what he needs is Rebecca's influence from being Rebecca Bluegarden, and with Shiki, it's probably that he needs his power or something that was left behind by pretty much Ziggy, I think, at this point. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Electric Control. Dead Knight of Enemy, signing off. Later, guys.